Yo, what's up? Good morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let's continue. So what we're gonna do today is to keep developing these blobs. Visually, we're gonna do a few things more visually, and then we might go to game logic. We'll see. I want to get like the random properties in place a bit more. We're going to experiment a bit with varying the shapes of the blobs. And then I'm also I really want to give them some what is it called? Soft body. Make them look like blobs, you know. But yeah, that's what we're gonna focus on. Yeah, I just want to fix one more thing first here with the right, I think there we go. Okay, so the graph for creating these blobs looks like this currently. We have an animation curve here, which pretty much decides how the shape of them. I think this is a spherical. No. Yeah, so we have this animation curve that decides the shape. I'm gonna show how it looks if we let that animation curve decide how it looks. I think that it's this curve. I want to add some random rules to how the curve looks. I'm not entirely sure how we want to do that just yet. I still want to have some control over it. But let's see. Okay, so now we have this curve. And instead of spherical blobs, we now get something very similar to Dragon Quest, I would say. So teardrop blobs, pretty much. Okay. So this shape is given by I wonder if we can create let's see, we want to be able to create animation curves randomly, but we want to be able to state a set of rules for our animation curves. Like the first rule would probably be number of key points or keys, and so that's one. So for instance, when we do a random curve, we can make this random curve have between 2 and 4 what is the word? Keys, keyframes, key points, I don't know. Let's see. All keys. Okay, let's just refer to a keyframe. So that could be the first thing that decides, when we randomize a curve, we decide how many keyframes. And then for each keyframe, we randomize stuff. So for instance, for the first keyframe in this, we always want it to be at 0, 0, similar with the last one. But then we can randomize the tangent. So this one, we can randomize this point somewhere. Yeah, I don't know how crazy we want to go. Like, I want to experiment with this quite a bit before we start implementing it in the node graph. I guess we're gonna create some script where we can, pressing a button randomizes the curve we have. Because we can create these curves programmatically. Yes, we can. Add key. What control do we have? Fuck. Yeah, we want to work with keyframes, I think, and they have intangents. And what are intangents? They are floats. Why is it just a float? Isn't that weird? Okay, I definitely wanna experiment with this. You know what? Let's start easy. I'm gonna create a task for this. But like this shape, if I were to just have one shape on my blobs, it would probably definitely be this one. But like this is the kind of shape. So like when we in the gameplay, I want to make sure that it's like that we can breed blobs to eventually look like this. That would be very cool. But okay, let me just create a quick task for this. GitHub is extremely slow for me today. For some reason. Okay, let's do this then. Okay, sorry about this. We'll do a little bit of a workaround by having to do. You know what? I wonder if because what I want to do is eventually we want to be able to have nodes here that randomize a curve. A node that takes a set of rules that's going to be hard to... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do it, but we want to be able to procedurally create a animation curve. And we want to be able to do it with a node network like this. This animation curve for blobs, it decides the thickness along the vertical line or the height, but we're probably going to use it for some other stuff. Yeah, definitely we can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Experiment with creating animation curve through script. I want to learn exactly how these intangents and stuff like that works. This, it's not very intuitive for me right now, mostly because of this. Like I would assume that intangents and outtangent were kind of a or my first assumption was that it was a vector 2, maybe with some weight. But okay, we represent this tangent here with a weight value, float, and then a intangent value, which is also a float. That's why I want to experiment with it. I want to learn. And Something like this. That's what we can start with. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quit this, and we're gonna add a empty object. Animation curve tester. Fuck, where do I even put this one? It should probably be misc. Data misc. Generators. Fuck yeah. So we're gonna have an animation curve generator. Oops, sorry about that. And then I want to have, oops. I'll run a method every time a property on a monobehavior object is changed. Let's see if it can get this right. But so basically what I want to have is, yeah, we want to have this one. And every change we do, I want to be reflected in this curve, right? And then we're gonna have couple of things that alters it. It's going to be not time scale, but in tangent, and soon. But I want to have in weight. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see here. On validate. Private void on validate. And then I want to do curve dot remove, not a specific key, but I want to remove all keys. Clear keys. Like this, and then you know what? Yeah, we're gonna add a key. Add key, we're gonna do this 0, 0. Yeah, we're gonna do curve dot add key 0, 0. And add key 1, 1. But between these two, we're gonna add a key that is decided by this. So keyframe key. Do we have any constructor? Time value in tangent, out tangent, in weight, out weight. Time value in okay. That might be good to have as well. Serialize field private float time value keyframe key time value in tangent out tangent wait. And then then we add it, and hopefully, yeah, and then we update this one on the fly, I hope. Yo, what's up, Antonino? Hope you had a wonderful weekend, man. Let's see what we get. Animation curve tester, animation curve generator. Okay, we can see here that we add it on 0.5. That's good. In fact, I would love to keep this one open. Is that even possible? Probably not. But we can see it here. So 0.5, 0.5. Then we have something like this. So if we have intangent 0, okay, intangent 1, in weight 1, in weight 0. What the fuck? I'm not seeing the change I'm anticipating here. Okay. It's almost like... Oh, one sec. Really? Intangent 0.5. Intangent should probably be this one, right? Out tangent should be this one. Keyframe. Intangent sets the incoming tangent for this key. The incoming tangent affects the slope of the curve from the previous key to this. From the previous key to this key. A positive value for intangent results in a downward tangent, while a negative value results in an upward tangent. So that would be, a positive is like this, down. So if we go with a negative, we should see it go up here. Or that's what I think at least. So -1. It doesn't change anything. Clear. Animation curve. Erases all key from this instance. 5 units. Okay. Yo, what's up, PG King? Good morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, man. My in tangent and in weight here, they make no difference whatsoever, unfortunately. So let's try and do this. Let's be explicit. So key dot in tangent, in weight. Do we get something then? PG King, very tiring weekend. Badminton tournament, nice. Yeah, I had a nice weekend. Not as sporty as a badminton tournament, however. But it was nice. I don't get this. Why do my in tangent and in weight not affect this one at all? Nothing. Right? What am I missing? Time and value changes it. Oh, time 1. Now we have some weight here. What the fuck? 1. Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm starting to think. Let's see here. If we set this one at time 0, or actually if we set it at time 1, then we can control it with in tangent and out tangent. And wait. Is it because... Okay, what do we have? Keyframes are a struct. Okay, animation curve. Do we have to do it like this, is my question. Maybe. Let's try it. Yeah, I want to include this. Come on, man. Native Ray. Okay, I'd rather go with this one actually. Yes. Oops. Okay, so we create the keys like this and then we set the keys. Because I'm wondering if it's not getting if it's not getting validated when it should be validated, you know? We'll see. Yo, what's up? Sita BR, a nice guide for outline shader. Thank you, appreciate it. Do you have plans on updating its repository to support Unity 6? I have. But I'm just extremely slow, you know. I'm working on it. Like, for this project we already have it updated for Unity 6. It's just that I need to clean up the code, make it a little bit more generalized, and then put it up on the repository. And I want to time it with a new video as well, so probably before summer, but don't take my word for it. Okay, let's see. 0.5, 0.5. Can we control the tangent and stuff like that now? Yes, we can. Okay, beautiful. Okay, this is very good to know. So now we have something like this. A very big weight. 0.5, 0.5. Look at it. Okay, so 0.5. Does that refer to... That's the length here, right? And then I wonder, positive value. So I guess, I don't understand intangent value. So this is 1. If we have 1, we get diagonal like this. If we have -1, we get diagonal in the other direction. -2. -3, 4, 5. 5 gives us this, but this one also decides to wait in a way, right? 1. If we wanted to go The intangent, it's like one step on the x-axis is currently -5 steps on the y, or +5 steps on the y-axis. 80HTQ, what's up? Are we finally getting close to creatures in the creature game? Hell yeah, we are. We are. I'm very interested into, like, why are tangents defined in this way? And what if I want the tangent to go straight up? Is that -10? Or that would be, I guess that would be minus infinity, right? Just weird. I guess if we do in weight 0, what do we get then? And then we get something like that. That's not what I want. 1. How the hell are we going to be able to define nice curves with controls like this? Keyframe. Weighted mode. None, in, out, both. Okay, so one gives us this. 0.1 gives us this. Okay. So I guess we're gonna have to do something like this. If we want it to be straight up, we would do intangent 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and then 0.00001. Yeah, then we get something like this, but that's still pretty bad. If we compare to like this one right here. Okay, this one has the same weird rendering problem. I wonder why it's defined like this. It's definitely gonna make it a little bit harder to work with. Could you actually do infinity? Okay. So we can do infinity, that's nice. One way to do it as well, honestly, would be to just define a set of random curves and merge them, but now that's not as fun. But okay, it's not very intuitive, but I can probably get used to this. So 1 is a downward. Okay, 1 is downward when it's the in tangent, but it's upward when it's the out tangent. And then we have it the other way around. So -1, we can do -1, -1. And we get this. Okay. One rule for the blobs is we should have the keyframes should be at 0, 0. Well, the value for the start and end keyframes should always be 0, right? And then in between, we're going to randomize how many keyframes in between and some other stuff. But I'm wondering about this with the weight on these, because let's say that we want to make it, we want it to go straight up. Then you have like the weight scales with that value. So if we make this one, like the absolute value of this one bigger, we're gonna have to make this one smaller. So we can get something like this. And then we're gonna have to define, I want all of the blobs, I think, to be, they should always be a little bit more bottom heavy, shouldn't they? Wouldn't it be weird if they were very... So the bottom, I probably just want to randomize like this. So the bottom, maybe we can randomize like this. So we just, the weight of this one or something like that. It should go between 0.5 and 1 or maybe even more. I don't know. But maybe you want to do something similar with the top. Then we can randomize this one where it should be here. Which should be rotated. I wonder how it would look like this. Holy shit, that's almost even better. It's actually kind of beautiful. Like, I want to make it easy for me to define this stuff as well, you know? What do you think something like this would look? Probably we have an issue. I was hoping for not not as pointy of a top. But I guess we're gonna have to subdivide it some if we want to get a cleaner top with this. Still, why is it so spiky? I guess it makes sense. I guess we could make it a little bit smoother if we were to do this and well, still doesn't work. It feels like we can get a pretty nice beginning, but not such a good end. Antonino, yo, Robin, I just left for a few minutes. What are you doing? Right now I'm just experimenting with, like, this curve here controls how our blob, the shape of our blobs. And we want to be able to randomize this curve, so each blob should have a different shape pretty much, and then the player will be able to, if he or she finds a nice blob shape, then he or she should be able to like breed the blobs such that they converge towards the shape they want. Yo, what's up, Skafer? Make them jump, please. Yeah, I'm dying to do it. We're gonna make... I want to get like soft bodies in place first, then we can make them jump. But today we're gonna get the shape in place. They're gonna look so good with soft bodies and then jumping. And then I'm gonna, like, I don't really know what we're gonna do for eyes just yet. I wonder, do we really need eyes? Maybe they should be eyeless. I don't know. We'll see, but okay. Back to the animation curve generator. So in curve, Let's disable on validate 1 sec. Antonino, I had a similar idea a while ago. It was a game where you took stones generated by code and threw them into the lake. You could catch them and join them. They were like pets. Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds very similar to what we're looking at here. But okay, let's see if I have finally understood how the keyframes, tangents, and stuff like that works for animation curves in Unity. Okay. The in tangent, the slope of it is decided by a float value. For the in tangent, if it's positive, so we go between 0 and -1, pretty much. Or between 0 and infinity. And then we have between 0 and negative infinity. And then we have the weight that controls it, but the weight is also, like, it's not only the weight that decides this, but also the slope value, you know? For the out tangent, it's positive here, so we have 0 to infinity and 0 to negative infinity, and then we have the weight value as well. Okay? So let's see if I were to generate, yeah, we can begin by generating 2 keyframes, one at the beginning, one at the end. The beginning should have infinity here. I don't know what the weight should be then. 1 divided by infinity, I guess. Yeah, let's try that. So if I were to create this one by code, we would have... let's try and build this through code. I think that's a good test. That would be, I think that would be dispose. Scafer, yesterday I was looking for an outline shader for Godot. It's so stupid. There's like 100 different implementation and they all suck. And I want to touch the screen space outline shaders. It's just too much setup and problems. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a screen space outline shader for Godot with an easy setup. But maybe I should get it in place in Unity first. Let's see here. Float time is equal to something. Float value is equal to something. Float in tangent is equal to something. Float in weight is equal to something. Okay, and we want to create, can I open it up even though we have some errors here? Let's see. I want to create this one. So let's do, well, you know what? We're going to have to create all, let's see here. Let's do it like this. Void test. Can I get it for all, please? Okay. And then we do... Okay. And finally... Yes, but not dispose. Yet. Hey, what's up, Pattinson? Scaper, what is your opinion the best way to highlight only needed object with screen space shader? By rendering them separately, or is there a good solution? I've been wondering it myself, so are we talking about... We're talking like a highlight shader, which I have in my game. My solution is currently pretty unoptimized. It's like a... You take the selected objects and render them to their own texture, and then you do a blit with that texture and the outgoing texture. Honestly, if we're doing like selection outlines, yeah, like highlights when you look at an interactable object, the best way to do that kind of highlights is probably just by inverted hulls, honestly. It's gonna look a little bit weird, but at some points, but I don't think it will be very noticeable. I've been wanting to do my own inverted hull implementation. So it's not gonna be a screen space solution. But yeah, for selection outlines, I definitely think inverted hulls is the best. I have been looking for, like, I want to optimize my current solution, which is a custom render pass, but I don't really know how you would do it. But okay, so we want to create this one. So I wonder if... So the first one, we're going to have it at time 0. It's going to have value 0. The intangent is straight up. No. The intangent is just 0, I think. The out tangent is straight up. So mathf.infinity. And then I wonder if we can do in weight 1.0f divided by math infinity. And once again, this is going to be, yeah, out. In tangent, I think we're going to go with 0 and 0. And we want to do something very similar for the out. Let's see here. Nah, not really. Maybe. Or actually... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 maybe. So for the last node, we have time 1, value 0, intangent. Yeah, this is the intangent, right? And it's going upwards, so it's negative. We're gonna go negative 3.1 f, and in weight is 1 divided by 3.1 f. I think that's how we're gonna do it most of the time. Out tangent 0. Oops. In tangent 0. Okay, and then we do the middle point. We're gonna put it at 0.4 and a value of 1. So 0.4 f, 1.0 f, and I think both intangent and outtangent is 0, but we have some weight on it. We have, I don't even know what that weight is, but I'm gonna say 0.5. So we do 0.0f, 0.5f, 0.0f, 0.5f. Let's see. And we get something that looks like this, which is not at all what I wanted. Actually, it looks pretty good here. It's just that I put this one in the wrong direction. So I think we can go... Was it this one, yeah? Negative... Yeah. Okay, it's not perfect. This one looks good. This one not. Infinity, we can probably not go with infinity. We'll experiment with something else. Gaper, inverted hull seems to break when you look at it from an angle, but maybe it was just bad shader. Yeah, like there's, as I've understood it, I've never done a proper inverted hull. I'm dying to do it. I just don't have the time. It's not high priority. But like there's a difference between inverted hull and inverted hull. Like there exists, you can pretty quickly get a inverted hull solution up and running, but it's probably gonna look like shit. But then there exists like multiple different stuff you can do to slightly improve it, you know, remove gaps and stuff like that. Like proper inverted hull shaders are pretty damn good, honestly. I remember reading a very good write-up on inverted hull solutions, but I don't think I have the link still. Like the thing is, when you do, usually when you have highlight outlines, it's usually just one object, right? And like at best, it occupies the majority of the screen. If so, then a nice full screen render pass outline is fine. But most of the time it's just going to be a very small part of the screen, and then it's like the worst case performance for screen space outlines just for selection is not, it's not very good. Let's try something else as opposed to infinity here. Let's do one. What do we have? 10,000, 100,000. Do we get a better value if we do it like this? Or a better curve? I mean, yeah, and it's the wrong direction. 1 sec. So it's actually positive. Why? How come I? Yeah, okay, yeah, of course. If I want to be able to randomly that's way too much. Randomly generate shapes like this, I'm gonna have to understand it. We had blobs with this shape not too long ago. I mean, this is pretty good. It's probably not as good as this one, or is it? But then I'm also wondering why is this one longer than this one? When both of them should have the same weight and the same out tangent. Why? What am I missing? If we were to do... Okay, in this case, they are the same size, but then we move this one. Am I misunderstanding the weight value? The weight value is a value between 0 and 1. Not fully understanding this. We should just create it here, honestly. Let's do... Zero, 0.4110. In tangent 0, out tangent 1000. 1 divided by 1000. Okay, that's okay. 1000, it's pretty good. And then we take out in tangent 3. I mean, -3. And a weight value of 1. Okay, 1 is way too much. Yeah, 1 divided by 3. That's something we can randomize. But I don't really know how I want to define these. How to randomize these keyframes. You know, okay, a keyframe is literally just 6 floats. Time value are so straightforward. Tangent is starting to make sense, I guess. Weight, not so much, honestly. Between 0 and 1, I reckon it's between 0 and 1, between 0 and tangent, pretty much. I would guess. Yeah. But that doesn't make sense. So for the middle point, we have time 0.4 value 1, in tangent 0, out tangent 0. In weight 1, out weight 1. Then we get something like this. Like what does 1? Oh, is 1 the length to the next keyframe? If we do out tangent minus 0.1, it still goes to this one, you see? Which makes me want to try out tangent 0. So what do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we 5, 6, then I wonder if we end up here. Out tangent, out weight 5 divided by 6. Okay. Huh. Look at this, it still goes. What the fuck? Okay, so weight is a value between 0 and 1. It's the normalized value between the current keyframe's X position and the next keyframe's X position. So there's always a line between here and here, and then we have 0 in up to 1. And then we have the intangent, it decides the slope of it. Okay, I think that's how it works. So that would be... So let's say that I want this one to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I want it to go diagonally down here, but only to here the weight. So that would be intangent 1, in weight 0.25. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I guess what I would like to have here then is... Fucking hell. So if we have an in weight or in tangent of 0 and out tangent of 0, it's placed at 0.4. That means to the previous point it's 0.4, to the next point it's 0.6. So in weight, if I want in weight and out weight to be the same, it would be 0.25. What is this one? 1 divided by 6. It should be like this, right? Yes. Okay, okay. So 1 divided by 4. So 2 divided by 4. And 2 divided by 6. Now the same again. Okay, beautiful. I think we can do... But how does the weight of this one make sense then? Then we just want it to be 0, right? So we don't want to divide it by... We just want it to be 0 if we want it to be straight up. I thought, but then we get this. Okay, that still doesn't make much sense to me. But everything else is starting to make sense. So here we have it. This is pretty much exactly this one. And so we randomize the weight of this one, I guess. We can change some stuff. Okay, maybe that should be our... Nah, I want to be a little bit more crazy with our blobs, I think. But like, the first iteration of randomizing the blob shapes can be randomizing the weight of this one to be more up or more down. Maybe between what it is here and up to here. Then we randomize the position of this one on the x-axis. We can probably go down to 0.3. But then we're gonna have to recalculate. Then we have, so 2 divided by 3 maybe. 2 divided by 3 and 2 divided by 7. Something like that. So we can move this one in X and Y, and then we have this one as well, which we can... I wonder if we want to be able to... Like, if we did a blob that looks like this, how would it look? Holy shit, that's also a great shape for a blob, I think. Some improvement. Fucking hell. I love playing around with this one. We could probably go 0.2, 0.3. And then we bring this one to here. And this one to here, maybe. It's a little bit too aggressive, but like, I like the idea that if you want to collect these creatures, you don't only care about the color of them, you also care about the shape, you know? I think this one with a little bit of a soft body, it would be amazing, I think. Like, can we make them look alive without eyes? Probably. How does the topology look for these? Yeah, pretty great topology as well. Okay, so I think we have the knowledge to randomize a couple of cute different shapes here for this one. Definitely. But then I want to add another option. Oops, what happened here now? Oh, that's not the one I wanted to alter here. Like, I do want to add the option to add, like, have a separate. I want to go a little bit crazy with the shape of the blobs, you know? I don't know how. Maybe it's not that great of an idea, or is it? Who the hell wants to have a blob that has this shape, I wonder? I mean, it's not too bad. Then I probably also want to make them more into cube-likes. Shit, I want to go a little bit even more crazy with the shape, I think. So, like, I don't even know how one would decide that. Yeah, okay, maybe I do. This rounding here. During subdivision. Was up tuba and peanut blobs indeed. That's what they looked like. But like, I would probably want to have blobs that looks like this, but are also, you know, a little bit more square shaped. I think. But okay, yeah, let's focus on these shapes first. Because like making them more square shaped is not as easy as changing this animation curve. We're gonna have to add some other setting as well. This one just decides the weight based on the height of it, pretty much. But okay, let's see if we can create some animation curve here. Does on validate work with the Unity graph toolkit, or work on nodes defined with the Unity graph toolkit? Because I would love, like when we start building graphs to procedurally generate animation curves, I would love to have instant feedback. Like pressing the play button and waiting to get some feedback is, yeah, I don't want to do that. But what can we... You know what? Fuck. So how we can build this is we can probably have float. Yeah, let's take a float constant. We can probably have it like this, you know. So we have one node that creates an animation curve, and then we have one node that adds a keyframe to this animation curve. So that means that we're gonna have, if we go with that solution, we're gonna have, what the fuck, a long line of something that looks like this. So add node, add node, add node. That's one way to do it. I don't really know how we would solve. No, that's probably not the way we want to do it. But we probably just want to have some settings here, right? How many nodes? But the problem is, yeah, maybe. What if we say how many nodes do we randomly want to generate here? And then how we want But instant feedback as well when we have random. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Let's see. Generally, no.
It's not an accident, I'm multifaceted. When I love something, I dive head first until I master it.
Okay, no. I don't think we're gonna do that. Okay, so basically, let's just define what we want to do first of all. We want to be able to define this basically. The first node and the last node. Yes, okay, maybe. Maybe we can have animation curve generator node. That one always has a start node and a end node. And then we can decide how many intermediate nodes we want, right? Does that make sense? And yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with. But I think I would like, yeah. I would like to be able to have a random float input for all of these. If we have a varying number of input, output count, input count, okay, you know what? We're gonna start by I don't know. I don't exactly know how we want to solve this yet. So we're gonna start by just having always 3 nodes or keyframes. So our blobs will always look like a variation of this, right? Where this one is placed, how long these are, and yeah, the slope in and out, that's going to be randomized. Let's start with that, but let's see if I can open up a relevant issue for this one. Probably not. Do I still have, yeah, still GitHub is still extremely slow for me today. I have no idea why. Okay, let's run with that without that one for now then. What issues do we have here, by the way? Yeah, okay. Related to these, I guess. Okay. So let's add a animation curve generator editor node. It's a generator, definitely. Let's start with the editor. You know what? We're just gonna. Okay, there we go. We don't want I guess we want to do like this private number of key frames, internal name, time internal name, no. Number of keyframes display name. Okay, we start with this one. On define options, we want to add an option here. It's going to be int. This one. I don't care about tooltip now with default value. With default value 0, because we're going to change this one. Number of I want to say number of intermediate key, number of fuck it. Let's name it this. I want to have like these are the center keyframes, so we always have a start keyframe and an end keyframe. But then we have a varying number of like middle keyframes, right? And depending on what we choose here, so we're gonna have private const string in tangent no time internal name yeah. And then we want to have out in beautiful. And the thing is, when we define the inputs here then, actually, we start by getting int number of key And then we do 4. Hell yeah. Let's see if this is correct. Time value in tangent, in wait, out tangent, out wait. I'm okay with that. And we're gonna fix to runtime node eventually. Let's see how this one looks. Oh yeah, we want to have some, yeah. But if we do 1, get these. I mean, yeah, it's a very messy node. It's probably gonna look like this most of the time. We have 3 points, 1 start, 1 end, middle, and 1 end. But what the fuck? So that means that we're gonna have this one, this one, this one. And then we're also gonna have, a normal nodes as input to this one. A lot of normal, random nodes. Okay, we're gonna continue with this one. I just need to run AFK real quick. I'm gonna leave you with some nice blobs to look at, so be right back. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Let's see what we can do. I wanna add fuck. Let's do it like private void add input keyframe input string internal name play name. Yeah, we might want to send in the context as well. Internal name display name. We just want to add string prefix postfix. Oh, that's exactly what I want. Like this, I think. Whoa. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, let's go 5+1 actually. Yeah, let's double check if it looks like it did. And then we can add a start node and an end node as well. Okay. And then we do yeah, it's a fucking hideous node. Honestly, I don't really know another way around. Actually, I do. We're not gonna get away. We could define a keyframe node as well, but that would just take 6 of these values and put them in their own node pretty much. But okay, so if we do 0 here, then we have time start, value start, in tangent, in wait. Okay, that's good. And then we do 1 here. And out, we don't want a dynamic mesh as output. We want an animation curve. did I screw up? Bam. Okay. And then of course, like, we're gonna have random nodes for all of these, I think. Or not for all of them, actually. This is a hideous way to define it, but I don't really know a better way to do it. Yeah, I wonder how we're gonna solve it with a preview when we have random input values. That's... Actually, you know what? I think we can fix a preview soon. I think we can have a preview, maybe. I don't know. We could have a, like... Yeah, in some way we could probably solve a preview, but I'm not sure. Anyway, time start 0, value 0, value at start 0, in tangent 0, in weight 0. Then we have, and now we can do random editor node, float, out tangent. Actually, out tangent, I think we want to keep this one at 1,000, but the weight is gonna be between, let's try 0.0005 and 0.0015. Our first random value, let's fix the end node first as well. So time end should be 1. Like, when we convert this to a runtime node, we're gonna have to... I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna solve this. Like, some of them, we don't have a proper implementation in place for inputs that are sometimes don't have a connection and sometimes do, you know? A hack would be to create a constant value node. Okay. Let's see. Time end 1, value end 0, in tangent 0, 0, 0 here. Okay. In tangent end float between okay, this sucks as well, because I want to have this one be between, so this is 3, between 3 and 1,000, but the way it's defined is that we're always only gonna get up to 1,000, you know? Or like if we take a value between 0 and 1,000, it's probably gonna be bigger than 10 most of the time. And there's really no difference between 10 and, like, I want so many problems. We can, I don't know. Like, honestly, there's like too many variables here for me to take them all into account. Do we have a simpler way of doing this? What if we define our own structure for representing animation curves during generation? Because I would probably like to, I want to randomize this one as an angle. I want to randomize it between 0 and 90 degrees. Or in this case, I would like to randomize it between, what is it, 75 and 90 degrees. So then you can randomize it, then you get like a more normal distribution. Or, I mean, get a more even distribution. Okay, so if we're going to define our own structure for it, what other shortcuts can we take? What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Should we put this one into like a scriptable object, maybe? Maybe we could. Maybe. Maybe that's just the easiest way to do it. Or we don't even have to make it into a scriptable object, right? We just define it as a struct or something like that. Or maybe. That's probably the better option. Let's see. So what I'm getting at is animation curve generator, and we do public class animation curve setup. Is this what I want? Let's see. Hmm. Problem is the tangent again. I want to be able to randomize between it. Hmm. What's this shit now? Ooh, thank you. Okay. Value in tangent, out tangent. In weight, out weight. Yes, and then we want to do field. Okay, something like this. Then we create the keys like this. Then we set the keys, okay? And then we want to add some randomization to it. And let's see. Animation curve, tester curve. Yeah, we want to update this one eventually as well. Keyframes 0, let's add 3. 0, 0, 1, 0. Value 0, 0.5, 1. Yeah, okay, this works. It's beautiful. Okay, so when it comes to these tangents, in tangents and out tangents and weights, do I want to redefine it for our purpose? For the for the tangents, I think I want to define them as angles instead of floats like that. So probably 0 or minus 90, 0, 90. But how would that be here? Probably 90, 0, minus 90. Then we have the same span for in tangents and out tangents. That's 90 degrees. When it comes to the weight, I think this is still pretty good. It all comes down to, okay, weight, I think we can have weight as is. But like, I want to get a random, like I want to get a uniform random angle between this one and this one, but I don't really feel I can do that without redefining it, because here I think the out or the in tangent here has a value of -1. Here we have -2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see where I'm going? If we take a random number between, if we take a random angle between 0 and 90, we're gonna get it uniform like this. If we take a random value between 0 and 1000, it's probably gonna look like this most of the time. But even though we redefine it to be angle 0 to 90 or -90 to 90, there's still gonna be the issue of converting it. 5. Now that should be pretty easy, shouldn't it? Or I don't remember my trigonometry here to make a call, but or can we? Maybe we actually just want to define it as an X and Y position. So if we want to randomize a position between this and this and this, we just do we can do random like this, or we can do somewhere random inside of this one. So many options. In fact, now when I think about it, isn't just XY better actually? But then we're gonna have to convert it. How would we convert it? We convert it by taking, yeah, we just have to be careful so we don't divide by 0, but okay, would that be a better option? So instead of having, we have time, or I mean, we could do what if we do something like this? Private vector 2 point private vector 2 private out tangent, and then we do public key frame, get keyframe, but we want to calculate some stuff here. So it's going to be like this: float time is just equal to point.x, value is point.y. But fuck, we do need... Yeah, if we do this, then we're gonna have to know the next frame and the next keyframe and the previous keyframe. That's unfortunate. So that might not be the best option. Or do we? Yeah, we do. Because the weight here is 1 divided by 10. And the intangent, I think we can get. It depends on if I might have overlooked something. So let's see here. Intangent is 3. Yeah, that we can get. We just do y value 0.5 divided by x value, or 0.5. We have to take this one into account. So it's 0.5 minus point time or value. So we get 0.3 and then we divide it by this x minus this was dots. So we just do a simple slope calculation. So that's 3. But the weight. Get keyframe. Can we do this then? Animation curve keyframe setup. Previous and next. What the fuck? I don't full. Isn't weight. Okay, so if we had the point at this position, and it's 2, it's still 3, but more weight. Okay. So intangent is equal to. Oh yeah, we had to rename this one. Point intangent, oops. Point. And then this one. Okay, intangent is equal to point y. No, not really. But we just need to change. Let's see here. Intangent. This is negative as well. So yeah, if this is negative, then we do this one minus this one. So we take intangent point dot x dot y minus point y divided by x, right? Because that means that we take this y value, let's put it, yeah, here, 0.5 minus this y value, which is 0.2-ish, so 0.3, and then this one 0.9, oh, 1 sec, so we're gonna get positive here, but negative here. Yeah, I think that's good. And the other way around. Okay. So we do this for intangent. And then when we calculate weight, that's when we need the previous point. Because then we want to take... So this weight is... We want to take the length in x between this point and this point, which is 1. And we take this value, or actually we take this value, x value, minus this x value, divided by this x value minus this x value. I'm pretty sure. (0.1 divided by 1), so yeah, 10%. Yeah, I think that's how we do it. So in weight is in tangent point dot x minus point x divided by previous point x minus point x, but isn't it the other way around? Oops. Yes. Let's see what we get here. Out tangent. This one minus, I think it's the same. Out tangent y, point y. This, and then when it comes to the weight, it's this one minus this one. Isn't it like this? Oops, I wanted that one, but let's see. So let's do something like that. Let's see if we can build our nice animation curve with this instead. Because maybe, just maybe, it will be a little bit easier to generate or randomly manipulate, rather. Maybe. So, let's see if we can mimic. Let's start with something easy. Let's take this one. Fuck, let's see if we can do this one actually. So that means that we want point, this one should be at, okay, that might be, let's make it a little bit simpler for us. So we do both tangents weighted. So we do take this one here. You know what? Maybe here. And here. And this one we keep here. And here. Okay, let's mimic this one. So, start point is at 0, 0. In tangent point is at 0, 0.05, 0.1. So, or actually, no. In tangent point is at 0, 0 as well. Out tangent point is at 0.05 and 0.1. And then we have this one, which is at 0.51. Okay. And, oops. And the tangent points are at 0.31 and 0.71. So 0.3, 0.7. I'm already seeing a little bit of a problem. That's okay. And then we have this one, which has out tangent is 0, 0, but in is 0.95, 0.1, right? 0.95, 0.1. And for some reason we get something like this. We only have 2 points as well. So I've probably fucked up somewhere. Let's see. Yo, what's up, Fishy? I'm wondering about this one. Okay, let's do 0, 0, 0.51, 0, 0. And then we just do, if we just do 0, 0. Yeah, we don't actually have a middle point, do we? No, we don't. Or we don't have an end point, rather. Okay. Okay. 0.1000. Okay. Screwed up. And then we have this one. In tangent or out tangent 0, 0, in tangent. What did we say? 0.95. 0.1. Okay, yeah, I think. Ooh, okay, this one is the other way. Okay, it seems like the intangents are not calculated the correct way. Okay. Why not? Or rather, I think... Okay. Still not perfect. Let's see if we can brute force it, otherwise we're gonna have to use our brains, but... Okay, that's not correct either. Okay, let's see. So when we calculate the in, we want to do... This is positive, I think. So then we want to take this one minus this one. Yeah, what's up, Sam Smite? This one minus this one. Oh, yeah. Let's see, I think we want to do... Let's do it like this again, but we want to have a mathf.abs here, I think. It might be... I don't think we want it there. But up here, let's see, mathf. I think. This is going to become negative, but this is positive, so we get a negative value here. Yeah, that's not good, because when it's the intangent, oh. You know what? I think we just want to invert this one and go point x minus intangent, maybe. But this one will always be positive, because this one shouldn't be able to be bigger than this one. It can be the same, however, so we could actually divide by 0 here. That's not good. We're gonna fix that. An intangent point, if this one is come on. Intangent point 0.1, 0. This one is 0.1, this is 0. And then it should be positive. Fuck. 0.1, 0. Now that should be negative, I think. If we have a slope like this, then the intangent should have a negative value. If this one is bigger than this one should be negative. This one should not decide the sign, but we know that this one is always smaller than this one. So if we do it like this, intangent should have a negative slope, and we should see then it's flipped here. Wait. This is going to be negative. This one is always going to be positive, so this one is always going to be negative. That's not good. Do we always want this one to be point X? I think we just want to do... I hope I'm correct in... Okay, that's beautiful. I hope I'm correct in that this will be easier to randomize the shapes if we define the tangent points and stuff like this. Hopefully. Let's fix intangent in weight here as well. There we go. Okay, let's see what we have now. I think this will be easier. Yes. Oh, look at this. Two identical curves. One is defined with the intangent and weights as floats. The other one is defined as points like this. Unfortunately, I need to run now, so we're gonna put this to the test, the randomization test, tomorrow. But the idea then is that we might take this one and randomize. We randomize this one like this or this. So maybe between this and this point, and then we can randomize it. So anywhere between here, and then we can take this one and we put it anywhere on this line with these randomized, how big they are, and maybe even how they are aligned. And I think it's going to be fun, and we're going to use this to... Oh yeah, we have an error here. We're going to use that to properly randomize why do we have oh yeah, we're gonna use this one to randomize our blob curve here. Yeah, it's gonna be good. But as I said, I need to run. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Peace.